What's up? What's up? It's your girl Sakina Jones. It's the afternoon, and I want to get into a YouTuber cop, a snitch. I got my snitch in disguise on, so you can barely see me, because that's what we're going to talk about for a minute. Last night, something went down in a YouTube sector. Actually, 2 nights ago, something went down in the YouTube sector with a grown man with bipolar and schizophrenia, depression, which is very serious, and is amongst us African American and Latinos very bad. He was on a panel, and there was a 16-year-old boy on a panel. Now, I agree, the minor is 16 years old. He should not be on a panel, but that's something for YouTube to handle. So the 16-year-old little boy confronted the grown man on the panel. The grown man couldn't handle it, and he snapped out. The 16-year-old boy criticized him so bad that the grown man had to go to the hospital. Now, the 16-year-old boy is in another state, and the grown man's in another state. The grown man admitted this last night on the panel and said that while he was at the hospital, he had a cousin or whatever, blah, 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 called the sheriff and told the sheriff that it was a 16-year-old boy on a grown man panel. That this grown man is letting the 16-year-old boy on his panel, which the 16-year-old boy should not be on the panel because he's a baby. So he said that. So everybody said, well, bring up the receipts. He called the sheriff back, and the sheriff said, yeah, we're looking for a 16-year-old boy, I guess, to ask questions. He's on the panel. Now, first of all, I got a 14-year-old son and a 19-year-old daughter. So you called the cops on this little boy, so when they knock on this boy's mother's door, she's going to be like, well, she probably don't even know he was on the YouTube. See, there's a lot of levels with this shit. He could knock on the door, and the cops could have went to his house and knocked on the door and ran the mother and father's name, and they could have had warrants for something they did a long time ago and took them. And they not know what's going on. It's very serious. I don't do cops. Where I'm from, we don't do cops. We don't do cops at all. You got to go to the hospital bleeding or halfway dead for cops to come to my house. You must be fucking crazy. I done got my ass kicked plenty of times in the street, and we don't call cops. We don't do cops. I don't like cops. I respect them. They pull me over. Yes, sir. No, sir. My license right here. I'm reaching in the mailbox. Yes, sir. No, sir. I'm going to respect them because I was raised to understand. Nothing you could say to me. Now, I ride with a lot of y'all, but I can't ride with this. Y'all don't see there's nothing wrong with this? You called the cops on a 16-year-old boy. He's a baby. He only doing what he's supposed to do. You shouldn't have fed into him. That lets me know where your heart is. You're a very dangerous person, and you're very evil. That was very evil. You couldn't get to this kid, so you decided to call. And then, hold on. He said, I gave the boy address. He gave the boy address. And none of y'all not feeling this shit? Depression is very serious because I had depression. But one thing I know, if you can't handle this criticism on YouTube, and I don't mean criticism, embarrassing, everything, then you can't be on this YouTube because you're going to get criticism more than you get more thumbs up. And that's one thing I'm learning. And if you can't handle it, if you can't handle the ball being thrown at you, don't throw the ball at the person. I will not pity you. I don't feel sorry for you, but I will pray for you. Because I was 11 and I seen my cousin and he killed himself over a girl. I don't want you to go that way, Carlos. You need help. You have to get some help. Please. Straight up. But I do not do cops, and I don't agree with that. Straight up. That's 5-0 right there. Popos, police. You're tripping. They're killing my African men, and you call the cops on that 16-year-old boy? And we all come together. We all in the same sector. Maybe we all come together, have an intervention with him, see who his family is, and sit down and talk to him, because I think Carlos is on the edge. And my prayers go out to you, Carlos. If you was offended by me or offended by me, I apologize from the heart. I am sorry if you got offended by me. But I feel some type of way when you're around. That's just how it's going to be. Holler at your girl, Sakina Jones.